Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventures with Lugar. I'm here with Silvia Fuentes, who is an investor and ambassador with Lugar, and we wanted to invite you guys to our next Zoom tomorrow. Maybe you know of Lugar, maybe you followed us for a while, maybe you're already an investor. We're having a meetup tomorrow, and to let you know the different possibilities available with Lugar, let you know about the Lugar Club, and what could that contribute to, what possibilities are now available that weren't available before. And Sylvia, what is Lugar to you? What
Oh,
magic
wow.
abilities available with Lugar?
It's interesting. One of the things that acknowledging more every day, but that sense of being aware of an energy and a possibility. So for me, there's certain things that when people are speaking, that things pop or there's like, oh, that, but I don't always have the definition or the words of what it is to even explain it. Well, El Lugar was that for me. Like the very first time this project was talked about as a possibility, I was like, yes, yes. And it did take me about a year to finally choose it, which was interesting because it's, when anything like this new possibilities that have never existed before, I get that we begin maybe to hear or buy other people's points of views. And I caught myself, it's like, oh, I'm buying everything else everybody else is thinking about this project. Will it happen? Won't it happen? And yet I knew it would. So I finally invested, and such a generative energy of just the possibilities of what it's continued to create in my world, choosing that. I didn't think I had the money to ever do something like that. I did go in a share. Um, and yet at the end of when it was paid, it was like, I created that. So that sense of really some of these choices where you choose to invest in something greater. And at the same time, the gift of being on the land. I've been on the property now 3 times, and we will have El Lugar visits once the borders open up. So I invite people to even explore, even if you're not even in these 10 seconds considering investing, but there is a gift of the land that I don't know if I have words for it, but I would invite everyone to savor. Is that the word? Like, really like taste it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's almost a tasting to it.
yeah.
So for me, it's a land of possibilities, of nurturance, and a communion with earth that the land has. And with this project, like working together, it's it's I like it. It's going to be unlike anything that exists on the planet, and will invite other people to choose to create with the earth in a whole different way. So I'm happy to be a part of that, and happy to invite people to that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been super grateful to be a part of this project and to contribute to El Lugar being seen in the world, to let you guys know the possibilities, and just being that space to get El Lugar out in the world. It's been interesting, the contribution and the connection that I've had with the earth and with El Lugar, even though I actually have never physically been there. There's just this beautiful energy and a different presence and awareness and contribution that's in my world in a really different way than has ever been before. And yeah, I want to ask you um, what it is to have that contribution with the earth, what it is when you contribute to something that is really showing us a different possibility with creation with the earth, and what that can change, not just in your world, but in many of the other investors' worlds. I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and just that little contribution that we make and that contributes back to us in tenfold or more.
Well, it's amazing. There's so many people asking different questions or looking to fix something in their life, and oftentimes people are looking to fix their money problems, relationships, and all these different areas. And at the end, it really has a lot to do with what we're willing to receive and be. And so when I look at El Lugar or nature. I'm actually outdoors and I'm looking at this beautiful space here near the Rocky Mountains. But I'm like, wow, that for me is what nature and the earth invite us to. To actually, I mean, where the earth doesn't have a point of view, the land, the trees, the mountains, there is no point of view, and they're constantly generating and contributing and, receiving from everything. So there's simultaneity of receiving, gifting, and receiving. For me, is that invitation in nature, and there's the sense like when you are willing to receive and also gift. Like many people talk about going out into nature, going out, on a beautiful walk, and how much you receive. That for me, it's this new question. It's like, wow, what can I gift?
Yeah.
And that could be monetarily, like, investing in a project that will create more consciousness and communion with the earth, like El Lugar. Or it can just be allowing yourself just to simply go, hey, whatever I have, I'm here to contribute. Earth, what can I contribute to you today? Is one of the questions that I love. And so for me, I get that what we've been asking for in so many areas in our lives has a lot to do with the earth that we haven't actually acknowledged. And that's one of the gifts that El Lugar brings out to the world.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's such a beautiful way of putting it. Thank you so much for that. It's interesting because I have an energy pulse series going on, and we're doing an energy pulse with the earth today, and I was talking about that very thing about what can you give to the earth, whether you're gifting to a project like a lugar or you're just gifting your energy and acknowledging the earth and your awareness of it and your gratitude for it. And I mean, the earth is always gifting to us. So what can we consciously give back to the earth and let it know, hey, we're there for you too, and we've got your back.
It's amazing. I believe it's in the foundation manual. For those people that know Access Consciousness, there's a class called The Foundation. And the very first time, I think it's in that one, I may be mistaken, but I remember reading for the very first time, and it said, if you are judging you are choosing judgment, you are bringing evil to the world.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow. Like when I look at it on the bigger scale, like it almost seems like, oh, whatever's going on with me, it's not really impacting the planet. And yet it really is. So when I also look at what can I contribute to the earth, it is that like choosing that sense of joy and ease and catching myself when I go into judgment. It's like, all right, am I going to choose judgment? Or am I going to choose something else? But that sense of, wow, what can we be as we're walking with the planet rather than on the planet? And I'm also, like you, super happy to be contributing to El Lugar because it's like a living project that has that essence, and everybody who's a part of it can sense it.
Yeah.
Can sense it. All the workers, all the ambassadors, and all of us that are working in different ways with El Lugar, and for all the people that do choose to invest, there is something they know about that, and so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the questions, because oftentimes, not until someone asks you a question do you begin to acknowledge what's there and available for you. Because for me, it was like, oh yeah, it's light, I'm going to choose it. Okay. It wasn't really putting a whole lot into words. And so, for those people that are super curious and to know what maybe different ways they can contribute and create with El Lugar, we're going to have that Zoom. Is that tomorrow?
Yep, tomorrow.
Wow, yes.
It is 8 p.m. CET. So I believe, what is that? PST is
11 a.m.
Yep. 11 a.m. PST for those of you in the US, and 8 p.m. CEST European time. And yes, you can just learn about the possibilities. What would it contribute to you just to get the energy of El Lugar by being on the Zoom? Like, it's just being in the conversations and listening to what's being created and the way that the business of El Lugar, even that how we do it so differently and undefined, is such a contribution. So we'd like to invite you to tomorrow. It's completely free. You could just come and have a listen and see see what's like for you. You know, you can find out about the Lugar Club as well. You can become just a club member if you want to. When you go to Lugar, uh, you can get 10% off of your food and drink at the restaurant when you're there exploring this very, very beautiful land. You can also just purchase tickets to stay once we're open, which is really only about a year or maybe a little longer away, just depending on how quickly construction goes. But we would love to have you there. And again, what can I contribute to you?
And I love it. One of the things that just popped in my awareness, I've been watching some of these Netflix um, series about the Earth and the planet, and I'm like, oh, we're actually creating something like that with El Lugar. So I can almost imagine like this series of videos of how it all came to fruition to invite people to know that you can create in such a different way. And like you said, just the whole creation of the project has been magical, and really how your choice and question and the possibilities and then the contribution, how that all invites for something to be actualized. So anyways, yep, come hear about it. I'm excited. We'll have David Cubis explaining some of the different investment options, any questions you have. And if it's not for you, maybe you know someone that is looking like, wow, what else can I create with my money? And maybe it may be for you where you're looking like, wow, what would actually inspire me to create way more? I mean, sometimes it's that sense of needing that inspiration to create greater than you are now. Sometimes it's projects like this that may do that. So I know it continues to inspire me. So you're invited personally from us for tomorrow.
Yes, come in to hang out with us tomorrow for an
Yep.
hour. What could it can contribute to you? And what do you want to choose as a greater possibility with the earth and with your own life? And would it be light for you and contribute to all you are?
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll see you guys all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. And we'll have some links in the chat to register for the Zoom. And you can also join our Telegram chat where we answer any questions as well about any investing, or if you just want to join and get some fun photos and have some fun contribution from Lugar as well. Bye.
Bye, Haley. Thank you.
Thank you.